Coming up next, we got this healthier version of an old fall favorite. We're making this caramel apple crisp. If you're gluten intolerant, guess what? You can eat this. We'll explain why. Coming up. Okay, anything with apples, caramel, cream gets my attention. When I found this recipe, though, is actually better for you than the classic version, then I'm really interested. Jillayne Clements, she's author of the Diet Rebels Cookbook, Eating Clean and Green. She's with me to share this great version. Couple different substitutions here. You have natural sweeteners, right?
Yes.
And in addition, because you're gluten intolerant, you can eat this because you found a new way to do it with the wheat stuff, right?
Yes. It's about sprouting.
Okay.
Sprouting your wheat first.
We'll show you that in just a second. Should we start with the apples here first? What are we doing here?
Okay, we've got some apples here. I like to use organic. Some that bake well with skin, like Gala and Fuji, are great. Right here, I've got a natural sweetener. It's called agave. It's low glycemic. And we're just going to stir that in there.
If people are, is that good if people who are diabetic or something like that, or they can't handle sugar, or there's something that's somehow better for people, isn't it?
It is better.
Okay.
It's better than refined sugar for sure, but if you are diabetic, I would use caution. This is just some sprouted flour and some cinnamon. We're just going to mix that in there.
Okay, so I'm going to stir this all around.
Yes.
And we're going to tell you more about the sprouted flour in a second when we get to the crust part. So is that sort of good enough?
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay.
Dump it in the pan.
Because I would think that if you were gluten intolerant, you would not have been able to put that flour in, but you have found what to do. Okay, now we're going to make the crust part.
Yes. Okay. First of all, we're going to start off with the flour. And this is actually an alternative grain called kamut. It's kind of like wheat. It's an original grain. And what I do is I sprout it. Right here I've got some sprouted kamut that I've sprouted. This is wet. What I do is I dehydrate it, then it turns out dry like this.
And when it sprouts, you found that it actually doesn't have some of the same stuff that bothers people who are gluten intolerant.
It partially digests starch and gluten. So if you are celiac, I don't know that you should eat it because it does have some gluten in it, but it does partially digest it enough anyway that I can handle it. I can tell a difference when I have it. So that is the reason why I like using that. This is a natural sugar. This is called sucanat, or just dehydrated cane juice. And it has natural minerals in it, and some of those minerals actually help your body to deal with the sugar, like the blood sugar, like chromium. Something that's lacking in refined. Refined takes everything out. Okay. Do you want to stir all that together?
Okay, so we've got the alternative sweetener, we've got the alternative flour kind of stuff in here. What else are we putting in?
This is some soaked and dehydrated almonds. What I do is I soak them in a little bit of sea salt, and I dehydrate them, and they swell with water, and then they turn hollow on the inside, like crisp.
Oh.
This is butter. I like to use dairy from healthy animals. You can see how rich and yellow that is. These are pasture-fed, from pasture-fed cows.
So this is organic butter, and you use organic cream and all that good kind of stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Actually, they can be good for you, and butter can be good for you when it comes from the appropriate kinds of animals that are fed well and cared for.
And a little bit of cinnamon there, too.
Yes, a little bit of cinnamon. You just mix that together, and then just sprinkle it right on top of the apples.
Okay, so then I just put it on there. Oh, you can tell some parts I didn't stir up as well. Okay,
it's all good.
We'll pretend like that's all completely. Don't look at that. See, Sam, you're not supposed to be looking at that anymore. Pan over to this stuff. Yeah, there's the good stuff. Pretend like I did that one. Pretend like I perfectly did that.
Yeah,
this is what it looks
the finished product. This is what it looks like when it comes out. Then what I've done is I've made a caramel, and this caramel is made out of the nice, good, healthy butter, and it's made out of natural sugars. It's got the sucanat, like I mentioned before, grade B maple syrup, and some agave, and I'm just going to pour this right over the top. See, eating healthy, eating green, eating clean, all that good kind of stuff doesn't mean you can't have fun desserts and great, good tasting stuff. And the good thing about it is that because it has its nutrients and minerals that the refined is lacking, it actually tastes fuller. And it's hard to describe until you go back to tasting refined and it tastes empty. Yeah. You just know this really does taste good. Well, in fact, Jillayne needs an extra caramel sauce on the popcorn. I had some of the caramel popcorn. It has a different taste. It has a richer, deeper taste to it. It does. You got a new cookbook that's getting ready to come out, right? Yes. Okay, give me the scoop on it. It'll be out in April of 2010, and it deals with the sprouted grains. It deals with the whole sugars, and the dairy from healthy animals.
And a website if people want more information right now?
JillayneClements.com.
Okay, look at the little cooking tab in the corner and you'll be able to get some information like that. Of course, if you want the recipe for this, the caramel apple crisp that's actually good for you, it's on our website, studio5.ksl.com. If you click on the recipe button, you can be having this tonight with some information on the pre-sprouted, the natural sweeteners, all that kind of stuff. Thanks for letting us know.
All right, thanks.
Okay, now we'll toss it over to Brooke.